first of all, what is the program for this ceremony involving the French president?
Well, Annette, Emmanuel Macron is due to arrive in a few minutes. He's going to be accompanied by his wife, the Paris police prefect, Didier Lallemand, other officials from Paris, as well as the man who's in charge of the restoration and reconstruction project, a man he appointed personally, General Georges Lain. Now, this group of about 10 people are going to go up and have a look and see how the restoration works are actually going right now. They, of course, started 3 years ago. So Emmanuel Macron is going to visit each one of the wings in Notre-Dame, and then afterwards he's going to go up onto the upper levels. There's a minimum limit of 15 people, apparently, who can go up because of all the scaffolding, and it's still a bit delicate up there. So they'll go up and tour the upper levels, and then he'll come back down. He's going to end his visit without a meet and greet. This is strictly a presidential visit. This is not a campaign event. So it just so happens, it is a coincidence that 3 years ago to this day that Notre-Dame Cathedral burnt down. So Emmanuel Macron is essentially making his annual visit to see how the restoration works are going, because he has made that ambitious promise to reopen Notre-Dame by summer 2024 in time for the Paris Olympics.
And how far advanced are the restoration efforts, Julia?
Well, the past 3 years here at Notre-Dame have really been dedicated to securing the structure of Notre-Dame. It was, it had threatened to collapse because of the damage suffered by the fire, and also to the cleanup because it was actually under scaffolding at the time, and so tons and tons of metal actually melted onto the floor. There was a huge amount of damage inside and outside. So much of those 3 years have actually been dedicated to cleaning up the cathedral. Now, there have also been other challenges. We had very inclement weather, many storms the past 2 years. There was a problem with having to desalinate, of course, the structure as well. And on top of that, the Notre-Dame is almost 1,000 years old. And in that time, you can imagine the amount of pollution and the dust that's accumulated over those years. And of course, because of the fire, on top of all of that, there's been highly toxic lead dust that's covered the structure. So all of that has had to be cleaned by hand. So it's very long, very painstaking work, and it's going to be very difficult to make that 2024 deadline. But that's the deadline that the president has set. But of course, it's worth mentioning as well that in terms of the cleanup process and the reconstruction, every time there is an effort to be made to reconstruct the Notre-Dame, there have been discoveries, archaeological discoveries. There was one as recently as this Monday where a metal sarcophagus made out of lead, apparently, was discovered in the lower levels. It's thought to be dated from the 14th century. And discoveries like this, although very exciting for archaeologists and I guess for French culture in general, have put the construction works behind schedule. So it's frustrating, at the same time exciting, but it remains to be seen whether or not France can meet its 2024 deadline.
Julia Kim reporting there from Notre-Dame. Thank you.